Join me. Imagine what we could accomplish together.
I'll join the team, be an X-Man.
We are the future, Charles, not them.
What do you think, I'm stupid?
You and I are not so different.
You can't keep denying what you are, man.
Because I'm the best there is at what I do.
You, me, we're exceptional. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. I chose my path, you chose the way of the hero.
Plague, war, famine, morality doesn't even enter into it.
I've heard these arguments before.
Think about it, hero!
You are watching
Move, Throw.
Marvel Crisis Protocol bonus sound.
I am Bonus Omnus.
I am bonus Irish Smart Like Rock.
Danny, first off, I really love that event recap episode. By the way, Frelinger had posted like right away after the event that he was excited to hear your recap. And so the moment I saw that, the moment I was like, was there like a weirdness? Was like,
No,
what do you think? Was it
what
just
do
like
I
a
think
general?
he means? Yeah.
Yeah. What did he mean? Because the way, I don't know if it was just me reading into the Discord post, but it made me feel like there was like, ooh, I think it's going to be interesting to hear what Danny thinks about this thing that happened.
It's always interesting to listen to me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yes. That's just factually accurate. You are an interesting individual, Danny.
But the event went very well. I think it was a very smoothly ran event. I think there was very little contention between the players. I don't think there were any really like issues, judge calls. I think mostly it was just like measurements for the most part. I think that live
when you have TOs
very smoothly,
who play in competitive events, they know what you want out of an event, right? Like,
yes.
Like I know Pat doesn't like aggressively play in stuff that competitively, but like Bots, Nate, and Vince,
I believe in
right?
Pat.
Like, yeah, I mean, Pat is the best host of the show. Like that's not in dispute, but fundamentally, he has still done a ton of tournaments anyway. And like, if you do tournaments as a competitive player, you really like key in on the things you're like, we need to make sure that X doesn't happen. We need to do Y because that's good for the competitive scene, like stuff like that.
It's good for everyone. It's just a good thing to do. It's good. It's nice to have well-ran events where you don't feel like things are contentious or are going to become contentious. You're just like, okay, cool. Like, you know exactly where to go. You know exactly where the next steps are. You're like, here's the times. Let's just go take care of it. Just very, very easy and well-ran in that sense. Really appreciate it.
So, I meant to ask you in the main episode, but like, what was like best moment, either in game or outside of game? What was the best moment for Danny Dojo at Squad Goals?
I think it was really that Adam Warlock match, and it was playing. I thought the Adam Warlock matchup was gonna be Loki too, but then I kind of stuck to like I was like, no, I think it actually is just Thor 1. I think it really is just having someone with high hit points and just sort of standing around, having like the build, like the Thor party is really what it is.
Yeah.
And standing around, and my big question was Wong. Is like my big fear was, well, Wong just explodes in this matchup. And then I just did what I did in Convocation with Wong, is that Wong almost never passed my deployment zone. He just hung out in the background and said, hey guys, I'll just stay here and leave me alone, please.
He's like, I'm Sorcerer Supreme. I'm back here. You guys go do the work. It's fine. I'm back here just wonging it up.
Yeah, and what it really comes down to is just like having that first round you might take the power out, kind of hanging out, but giving yourself the option to be able to double walk and flip a point or walk and heal someone, right? And just not being in the immediate threat ranges of his entire scary list, because Wong is just like a target, right? In that.
How much health do you think you healed over the 4 rounds of Squad Goals?
Man, I'd say I healed easily over 15 health points. Like easily over
15 over
Like,
4 games?
Yeah.
Okay, 15
Technically, that's over
doesn't
2
seem
games.
like a
Well, no, sorry, because I only
15
played Thor
doesn't seem like
twice.
a ton for 4.
Well, no,
Oh,
but it's
you only
15 for
played him
2.
twice.
I only played him twice.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
averaging
just be very
7.5
clear.
healing
I think
over
between the
2
two
games?
rounds, I think. he
All right,
played 15.
right.
Like, it was
All
a
right. I'm-
basically, every round I was
You're
healing
bringing me back in.
2 to 3 health, and
Yeah. Okay.
that was probably
Yeah,
rounds
yeah.
2, 3,
That's-
and 4, right? So yeah, I'd probably say like probably 6 or 7 health each round, and that's about the 14, 15-ish.
I mean, even if you said, like, if you're just like, I played him twice, I healed 12. That's
Oh yeah, it's good.
that's a
That's a full character.
big deal, right? Like,
yeah.
if you were just
what-
like, yeah, I played him in 2 different games, he healed 6 hit points both games, I would be like, well, fuck, that's awesome.
Yeah, I should say, like, I mean, part of that is combining with the, like, what really helps
Yeah.
is the Wong healing on top of it. Because, like, there's situations where you're like, man, I need to get rid of this condition, but I also want to heal. Wong's like, hey, buddy, I'm
Yeah.
right here. Don't worry about it. I got you. Wong
Well,
can
and
even
because
something like
you
give
could,
him the power to do the thing on top of it, right?
Yeah, they can like take damage, you heal them, and then activate Wong, and then like heal them more. Like,
He's
yeah,
like, ah,
yeah,
you're good.
It all
And that actually happened where they do like 3-4 damage. They almost kill a character. And it's like, okay, well, Wong will just heal them 3. Is like, can you
Yeah.
attack them again and kill them? It's like, no. It's like, cool. The
Yeah.
worst is when the actual play was getting, I think it was Bill. Yeah, I think it was Bill was like they were trying to annihilate him. I was like, Bill's gonna live. It's fine. I got his blessing and like he's fine. Don't worry.
healing on Bill
You're not killing him.
is the worst.
Yeah. Well,
Dude, when you
it's
get
when
3
they think,
damage on Bill, you're like, oh, all right, I got him now. And like, you're like, nah, he's back to full.
well,
God
the problem was
damn
that they
it,
were so
Danny.
confident.
Why
because
you
of
gotta
full
hate
power?
humans?
You Odin's blessing, and then you reduce the damage after the Odin's blessing. So you take none. So you're like, I'm on 1 health. They're like, oh, you can't Odin's. You're dead. I'm like, no, I can still Odin's. Watch
Yeah, no,
this.
I've got 4 power, bro.
Yeah.
I got 4
And they're
power.
like, oh, I didn't know you could live. I'm like, I know, it's stupid, right?
He's
You just
built
blessed by the
to
Alpha.
survive. Built to survive.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't believe in Bill. He's just so
Yeah.
good. He's just
Yeah.
so good. I don't know why I couldn't believe that guy.
He's your Gambit. You Gambit was last season. Now it's
Bill's
Bill,
back,
man.
baby.
Um,
So I like the core models in Asgard. They're a lot of fun.
all right. Before we talk about Asgard stuff, I still want to talk format wise.
Yes.
This three person team, restricted characters, but not it was not restricted missions.
Correct. Because they were all
Correct.
new. It was a bunch of
All right. What's your thoughts post event, post setup? How is the format?
I wish the snares were restricted. Because you look at my matchups,
okay.
you see what happened, you end up realizing that we end up playing a lot of the same matchup snares. And I think because there was a lot of overlap in a lot of the crisis selections, and that people were encouraged to take some of the same ones. And like on one hand, with
Okay,
not
well let's step
But yeah,
into
for
that
all the amount of
for a
crises,
second.
right?
So, one of the big takeaways when we did WTC was that like you really can only build like 1 scenario team, maybe 2 on a 5-man team. Like you just run out of characters that are good for scenario teams. And so it becomes a very aggressive meta because you can build 3, 4, maybe even 5 aggressive teams with all of the characters who are designed to be aggressive, and you tend to need less characters, right? You're playing higher threat, less characters. And when you're playing wide scenario teams, the character restriction hits you harder. And so I'm curious if maybe that plays into it in the scenario selection where you kind of need the diverse scenario selection, or does it make it worse because there's still not enough scenario characters to kind of spread on the missions, or what are your thoughts there? I just kind of wanted to like,
Yeah, I think the snares now I think do cohabitate right with aggressive lists. I don't think you're just playing pure snares anymore. But I think what's going to end up happening, right, is that you're going to quickly get to the here's the things that we want to play. Where it's like a good and bad. I don't know how quite to explain it correctly. I feel like it'll take some more time to really like hone down this thought. But where I ended up feeling like is that when I was picking scenarios, there was always an objectively correct choice. And that
So you just didn't feel like there was
correct to
something...
me, right? Like it never felt like there was a bad choice for me, and that I don't think feels correct. I feel like I should be forced sometimes into bad decisions in terms of scenario selections, and I feel like it was actually too neutral, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that.
I don't necessarily mean, hey, you have to pick like always bad scenarios that you don't like, but it always felt like there was an easy selection, is what I should say.
Yeah.
Instead
So
of me
what I'm
taking
trying to
neutral
look at
choices.
right now is I'm kind of curious. So there's there's like 11 secures and extracts, like about 11 of each. So if you were doing
That's where the
restricted,
problem is. Yeah.
you would have to have all 11 plus you could redo 4.
Something,
Right,
yeah,
is-
basically, right, because you'd have to have 15.
Yeah. So I was just like, I wanted to take a look at your team and be like, did you guys,
Did we manage that? That's a
I
good
was
question.
like, how much would it have actually changed?
Because we didn't have that much overlap between our lists.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious if it like actually would have, but I have to like compare. It's like 5 of each is a lot harder to compare than 3 of each.
Without getting too deep into that, I know for the most part I took scenarios generally differently from the rest of the team because I was tending to play the much smaller shapes and the more neutral extracts, where Jacob was basically going all high scoring. So he had the 5s and the 6s, but didn't like have senators, where I had senators instead. So I think that overlap. I think we're pretty close, actually. If it's just you can have a couple duplicates, I think we're really close, honestly.
I would almost be surprised. It's okay. I'm gonna do a quick comparison. Comparing live. I just needed to get them all in front of me. So I'm we'll do this in
We'll
action because I get what you're saying for sure. Where you're like, because you played a lot of the same thing, but I'm kind of curious.
If that's just how the selection, the pairing process sort of works.
Because there's just
And
not
again,
that
like,
many. There's not that many missions.
Yeah, but then you'd also think that, hey, if we have a full selection of missions, it's kind of curious we somehow managed to land on the same one multiple times, right? You could argue that that's just sort of selection bias, right, in terms of the scenario. But yeah, and again, this is something I'd like to think about for a little while, how I really feel. But it's also difficult because this situation is going to be very transient, right? In terms of, hey, a lot of these characters are going to change. You have new boxes coming out. Sentinels had just come out the week before, right? A lot of what people played or are going to play now aren't what they're going to play in a month or 2 months from now. But I feel like the scenarios and how they play out is the most interesting aspect to me of this year. Because that was the thing that really changed the most at the end of next year, and these new scenarios. All these things combined really changed the game and how it plays. I think that's like the unexplored territory here.
Yeah, so it looks like you guys, so quick glance, it looks like you have 10 different secures.
Ooh, okay.
So that definitely like leans towards you guys like
Overlapped, yeah.
have a good spread, but you do each have assault ships, and that you would not be able to do if it was restricted, right? And you all 3 have power overload. So right there, you at least have to change 2.
And that wouldn't be so bad because it forced 2 of us to try something else.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at extracts, you have 2 of samples. You chat for a second. I'm just taking a look. I got them all in front of me.
No. So there's I just feel like I didn't play a variety of scenarios where I've got to play enough shapes. Where the big thing in playing the King T match, on top of it, is that I was playing a setup I didn't really feel super comfortable in. And that's where it kind of made things a little shape awkward. That's where I kind of walked into the King T range because, one, I don't play against a lot of King T. So the long move, I was like, oh, right, his long move. Oh, right, his range. Yep. And he stabs me just barely. I was like, yep, just didn't really think of that, did I? Nope, did not see that one coming. And again, not like, hey, he gotcha me or anything. I perfectly fine move. But I feel like those ranges and being able to measure those and then having those sort of like internalized is something I don't have as well because they're all relatively new shapes. Something I did notice a lot in terms of the extracts and secures is how the shapes play out and how difficult it is to sort of stay on multiple things at the same time and kind of stay on track of that, and that you have to be sort of off position. A lot of times with like your small bases and everything, like you just can't be everywhere.
Yeah, so you guys all three of you had senators. So like that's worth talking about in itself. It seems like you had most of the extracts, but one person would have had to drop senators. And maybe there was like one more. But so you guys were like pretty close anyway. How did it end up where all of you were playing senators? Like elaborate on that. What the fuck?
I'm playing senators because, one, I'm playing all extracts that are equal, so evens. Okay. So that way it's harder for my opponent to get one up on me round one, so that even if they have prio, it's like, okay, I can just try to be neutral and then try to displace them, right, round one to try to get up on one. I like senators because I have lots of charges in the list. And I have lots of ways to sort of move outside of it and I have lots of displacement. So it's like, well, if they can only move once and I'm playing against like an aggressive list, then I can displace them. They get to walk potentially. If I displace and I walk away, I know they can't double tap me. I know it's harder for them to even single tap me, depending on which character it is, right? So I'm playing for that reason. And the center shape means that I have I can grab their senators with my characters. Like Sif and Bill can grab their senators and be relatively safe because they're tanky enough. They're not super worried about them just dying. Especially if I got extra heal from Thor and stuff like that, right? Or if I wait a long heal them.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, your list is a little less vulnerable to like, all right, I did 2 damage to you on turn 1, so you're softened up for turn 2. That's not necessarily the case against Thor 1, right? You're like, all right, well, now I heal them for 1, and then the next turn I heal them for another 1, and so they're back to full.
And so this is where especially prio matters in that scenario a lot because either I want to go first because I want to be healing and preventing them from doing it. I want Thor to come in, or I want last activation because I'm just trying to display stuff and make it really difficult for them to come back that next round.
Yeah. So my gut is that for the average team, it probably doesn't change that much. Right, to have scenario restrictions, because I have to like dig through all of them, but there may be a couple where you just find like everybody is taking these. There's a couple of missions that are like everybody wants to take, or like everybody is okay taking, that may lean things a particular direction. But I am curious because team formats do like really heavily favor aggression, and so there could be an element of if you take certain missions and at least go, well, at least only two of the players can have this mission. Like, that matters.
You said something that just like, it triggered me, I guess that you could say, is that you said there's a scenario that everyone was happy taking, that was safe for everyone taking. I was like, I think that's my problem with it, actually. That there's scenarios that are truly neutral that people are like, actually, it's fine. And that's what they always felt like correct choice. They always felt the safe choice. There was always this is what I should be doing because, hey, out of these options, like, this is what's going to happen. Because what ended up happening is when I was choosing secure and extracts, I was looking at theirs and going like, well, the worst I could possibly get in this matchup is this, and I don't really care about that. So let's just go for it, see what happens.
So do you think you'd end up so always my concern with restricting team formats is if you end up restricting team design too much, where if you go, you have to take every mission. Does that mean you have a pay to flips team, a scenario team, a murder team, right? Like, do you just naturally go, well, we're looking for teams to provide these roles so that we can get all of these used? Does it restrict it too much? Do you think that would happen, or do you still feel like,
well, the problem here is that I don't know if I've expanded technically outside of just the team format into just talking about scenarios and how I feel about them in general. So I think I'm going to have a time separating my feelings on this particular one is really what I mean.
That makes sense. We might be just dipping into general scenario thoughts at this moment. Where like there's a few scenarios that we just feel like we might see too often, which is totally
and I think that's also something that you'll start to see over the next couple of months in advance stuff. You're like, wait a second, this is a little too good.
Okay, so how did you feel about Asgard post? What are your kind of wrapping
I think Asgard
thoughts?
is in a very, very good spot right now. I like the leaderships. I think out of the 3 leaderships, Jane is really the most straightforward, mostly because it's very on or off.
And you did not play her. She's the only of your 9 that you did not play, by the way.
Correct.
I noticed that, and I'm offended. Personally offended.
I wonder if I should have played her that first round instead.
You should have.
She could have dove King T.
Definitely
she could dive King T all day. And she can go into a toe-to-toe match, lightning everyone, because then Okoye doesn't matter.
I genuinely think Loki was the wrong pick there. And you could have played every character if you had played.
Here's the reason why I picked Loki, because I was thinking of King T. Well, here's the thing. I was thinking of Panther 1. I did not even think about him playing M'Baku and King T. And then I see that, I'm like, yeah, it's actually way better pick than I was thinking.
Yeah, everybody wants to play King T. I'm the only one who's hung up on OG Panther. It's just me. It's like literally just me.
So I was thinking of regular Panther. I was like, oh, but then Loki just like dances around, nothing's going to happen. Everything's fine. And then King T comes out. I was like, oh, I can't stop him from killing him. Like, no, he's just going to come in and die for me. Like, yep. And then every time I was hurting him, he's getting exercise, getting all juiced up. And it was just like, oh, man.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a matchup for Jane. But
yeah.
So overall, good. Do you think you play this list as is, or now like going into singles stuff? Is there an immediate change?
This is the issue I have. Like the weakness, the issue with Loki 2, what it comes down to for me is that he can just die.
Yeah.
And the leadership is really hit or miss. So you kind of have to write off the leadership, but it's like, you can't really write it off because you have to constantly be remembering it. Your opponent's clearly not going to remember it for you. So it's like something that you have to remember as a tax that you may or may not get a benefit out of.
Yeah.
And so like that part is just like hard because here's what I said to a local is like, Jane is just easier, right? If you compare, it's like, I want to hurt things. Jane is just easier.
But like, she also has like a much more dynamic activation.
She just goes in and she's like, hey, let's see what happens. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so that's my issue. And the reason why this matters is goes back to the Elendil question. And the reason why that matters is that Loki kind of needs Odin's blessing if you realistically want to go in and get in the ground and do things with him. But if Loki's not there, then Odin's blessing is free to back for Elendil because her problem was randomly dying to things as you dive into stuff. But what made her interesting was that she was so fast that for a lot of characters, they just can't keep up with her. And she just dances around.
Whoever she wants. She
can do a lot. She can threaten very big characters. She can punch up very well. She's another character that takes Doom Prophecy very well. Because like, okay, I can dive, kill something, and then just disappear. And then you can't chase her. You're like, okay, like you want to dive across the board? Go for it.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. But yeah, I think you were very close to playing every character. It seemed like you were putting together really good team compositions. How do you feel about Iron Fist? Because obviously he's not a 3 that like everybody is leaning on right now, but you were playing him. Do you feel like he was money in your games, or you're like, are you thinking about switching him out for other 3s?
He stays because I love that boy so much. And here's like real secret tech is Trickster's Boon. Because of Trickster's Boon, which is Loki T's card, he can give him the power so that you can round 2 Iron Fist. And round 2 Iron Fist means realistically you can pull off again by round 4.
Like, what the fuck does Trickster's Boon do?
Gives him 5 power.
It
immediately Loki spends 4, gives a character 5, and they have to daze or KO a character. If they do not, they lose their power, and Loki gains that power. If you daze a character, you get a victory point. If you don't daze a character, your opponent gets a victory point. It's a very interesting card.
During an allied non-Asgard character's activation.
Correct. Right. So Iron Fist
may spend 4. Choose an allied non-Asgard character and an enemy character. The chosen allied character gains 5 power. Okay. This activation phase, if the chosen
character,
allied character dazes or KOs the chosen enemy character, gain 1 VP after the effective result. If it did not, during the cleanup phase, the player controlling the chosen enemy character gains 1 VP. Then the chosen allied character loses all of its power, and Loki gains 1 power for each power lost this way. So you are gambling a VP.
We are gambling. But for an Iron Fist, right?
But there's also just times where you're like, would you trade
the auto damage, like the weird
take away a character's activation?
And it's like, yes, there are times I most certainly would do that. Where it's like, actually, I don't care about the VP. It's fine. I'll just top of 2 take care of this character right now.
Yeah, losing, like, there are definitely times, I think, where...
Because that's stagger. It's just activated, right? So it's like, oh, man, that's pretty spicy, actually. Pretty spicy.
Well, if you look at it in this world, right, with all of the, like, extract pickups and stuff, you imagine you're like, and I just take away that character's activation, so you can't even pick up that extract, right? Like, you can subtract damage from the overall game plus score, even if you do lose a VP over it. That's really interesting. And I do see why that card synergizes really well with...
And it needs a non-Asgardian, right? Specifically needs a non-Asgardian. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
This guy. So I think there's some play... I think there is play, period, with a non-Asgardian. Because
definitely.
Odin's Blessing is a card that they kind of want to turn themselves. Everyone can't use, their Rainbow Bridge. They don't have the power to do everything. And so you're at the point of, okay, what do I need this person to do? Right? Like, what's this person's actual role? Are they just
and if you're doing Loki leadership, right, I feel like he can build up power really fast. Yeah. And he kind of does need something to spend it on.
And the thing is, Loki... Again, like the Odin's Blessings, like he wants someone to take a punch from him randomly. Where it's like, I don't really want to Odin's this. Like, here, Iron Fist, you go in.
Is it hard to fit in that card though? You feel like you have a shit ton of great cards.
I've been playing with Giant's Blood and Trickster's Boon and going back and forth as the Loki card because I mean I love Odin's Blessing. I pretty much always take fallback to Odin's Blessing. I'm not playing both cards. So I'm almost always taking fallback in Odin's Blessing. Pretty much always taking Rainbow Bridge. Yeah. Right? And so that kind of gets to the 2 cards where it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Right? Like, what do we do with this space?
So, yeah, you kind of have that one, because not a lot of your characters actually have character-specific cards.
Correct.
Right?
So it doesn't really matter most of the time.
Your 5th card can be Trickster's Boon or Giant's Blood. All right, that makes sense.
I think that's a judgment call. Like for me, that's just a judgment call on what I feel like is going to happen in the match. I think I go after Loki. Do I want just one of the insurance play? Do I want to do something like fun? Whatever. If there's like a low extract, like it's like 3 extracts, it's like, well, I'm going to have more power anyway, so I might as well go for like a strong play round 2 and like get rid of an activation that I'm more worried about getting a VP. Right, because I'm not even worried about the game going that long. I'm worried about living to round 3.
Yeah. All right. Very interesting. I am noticing that you make me want to play games with whatever you're playing.
I try very hard. I said this to a couple people. I try very
feel it.
hard.
I hope
to
the listeners
use
feel it because you were making
real-
me feel it.
examples and real scenarios and try to give practical advice, right? And try to keep it grounded and sort of like walk through the theory and what's going on here and why you use off-meta characters, what they're even for, right? And what's the purpose?
Hey, you've got me. I pulled my Enchantress off the shelf. I think I'm going to do some touch-ups on her model. She was she came out at a time period where I had time to kind of like spend painting. And so like, she's definitely not a model that I feel like I painted poorly, but I'm like, yeah, I think all of the colors on her are something where I'm like, yeah, I think I could, I think I've gotten better at painting all of these colors.
All of this.
So,
all of these things, I could do that better.
yeah. So yeah, I think, maybe I splash her somewhere. Cause now like Moondragon's real good. And so there's definitely a part of me that's like, I kind of want to build a list with Moondragon, Mindstone, and Enchantress and just be like, bow, motherfuckers! Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah. Now that we're back in free, that's one of the characters is going back to Moondragon. Once Jessen's like, ooh, like we can just have full like magic party inside of Asgard and see what happens. Yeah. Then it goes into like, what is this? The Jane? Like, is this just playing Thor? Like, where am I really going with this? Right. That's sort of my thoughts. I think Thor 1 is for sure in. Even though he's hit or miss, that leadership is just such a catch-all that I feel like when I don't know what to do, Thor 1 is safe enough where it's like, well, it's not a bad plan no matter what happens here.
Also, it just being randomly good into webs, like normally you think Thor 1 not good into the scenario matchup, right? Where this not trying to push damage through on you and stuff. But even if you were not playing against ASM, just the ability to pull damage off or pull all webbed up turn, right? They go after someone and you're like, and I'm going to pull slow off of that guy and activate this guy. And like, it gives you some good play. So yeah, I, as long as you have the space, I think Thor 1 as a flex for certain matchups is really good.
And I think it's also very good into the Defenders matchup. Like, it just, the hammer, the staggers, it's just good stuff. Right, throwing around at people and then getting rid of the hexes just kind of keeps them honest most of the game.
100%. All right, my dude. Well, I think we are ready to wrap the bonus episode. So, I'm a little jealous of all of your fun times at Squad Goals, but I appreciate you sharing them with me and letting me live vicariously through your awesomeness.
Well, I want to say thanks to my teammates, Jacob and Nate. It was fun to have this all together, and thanks for them sharing their moments with me. I think it was a greatly enjoyed event for a lot of people, and I most certainly would go again. So, shout out to everyone running the event again and, just putting in all the work.
Yeah, seems like a super cool team. So yeah, I'm glad you guys had fun. Maybe stay for round 5 next time.
We'll see what happens. It's just like getting out was so hard. It was like the afternoon flight, it was like the 4:35 range, or those red eyes, and I had to work on Monday. So it's like I can't justify that much playing, right?
Yeah.
Because red eye, because I'd be losing time going west again, and so I'd wake up and like it'd be work time again. And be like, oh no, I don't want to wake up immediately go to work. Yeah, I'd feel terrible.
All right, well we'll close out there. To all of you, it's move, bow, baby. Move, bow.
Let's go. Bow, wow, wow.
Later, nerds.
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex